Rajane Parker.
And I'm Clifford Bedjusty, and you're watching RC News. Today we are focusing mainly on ageism.
Coming up in this episode of News Daily, we will hear about an article that was written by Todd Nelson, filled with research and information based on an ageism, followed by a survey that was conducted by Erdman Palmer. After, we will show some footage filmed earlier interviewing the community about their views on ageism. We'll be right back after the break.
Welcome back to the RC News. First up, the article called The Strange Case of Prejudice Against the Older You. Well, to begin, ageism is a prejudice of discrimination on the grounds of a person's age. In this article, Nelson wrote about ageism had a cause, which is by our culture views, fear of death, and much more. Nelson argued that ageist acts are mostly likely to be done by younger people against the elderly. Ageism is something that goes unnoticed to the public and is an everyday challenge. In fact, some people don't even notice that they are being discriminated against based off their age.
Yes, in fact, Todd Nelson conducted an experiment in which he sent out surveys to 3,300 older adults in California, asking them whether they ever experienced age prejudice and how they reacted to it. These people were split into two groups, young-old, which is 55 to 74, and old-old, which is 75 and older. The results were surprising considering young-old adults viewed old age as something associated with their parents' generation, while the old adults saw themselves as the older generation because no one was older than them. They reported that they wouldn't be bothered if they were victims to ageism. However, the young-old reported that they had experienced ageism, and when it occurred, they began to be very sad. After this experiment, Nelson concluded that the old adults may have the desire to protect themselves and their self-esteem by denying that they are of this specific group. The reaction of the young-old to ageism may suggest that the young-old want to delay their aging process because of the fear of being treated differently.
Nelson also noted that ageist attitudes are activated automatically. For example, in a study in 1990, Purdue and Grumman found that when younger people hear the word old, they match it with something negative faster than matching with a negative. When they hear the word young, they are quick to match it with a positive than a negative. However, if an individual is motivated, they will be able to overcome the influence of these negative thoughts.
Now, there was an article called The Ageism Survey, First Finding by Erdman Palmer. And in this survey, it was stated that there are various types of ageism in society. The most frequent types are when people are rude and disrespectful to the elderly. This includes when older people are ridiculed and mocked due to their age. Back to you, Cliff.
Palmer conducted a survey with 84 people older than the age of 60 in a local senior center and church groups. 35% of this group were male, 65% were females. The age range was 60 to 93, with the mean of 75 years, and the distribution by education was 39% with a high school or less, 31% with some college, and 30% with postgraduate education. The first 21 respondents were not asked about education, but asked they were from a senior center and a public housing project. We imputed high school or less education for that group. The results show that ageism is perceived as a widespread frequent by the major respondents. Over 77% reported to experience one or more accidents of ageism. More than half of the reported incidents were reported to have occurred more than once. Each item in this survey was reported as having been experienced by one or more person, and then the average item reported by 1/5 of the respondents. Back to you, Rajane.
Welcome back. Now we will be showing interviews of 4 different types of people in 2 different locations, one of which is Indian River State College, and the other being a neighborhood Walmart. Now, while filming in the neighborhood Walmart, the 2 people being interviewed have asked to not show their faces.
Hello. Do you know what ageism is?
I believe ageism has to do with discrimination of different age intervals, like old versus young, the elderly.
Yes, correct. And what's your belief about ageism?
I believe that any form of discrimination is wrong. I mean, discrimination against disabilities, race, age, it's not right, and I don't believe it should be done.
All right, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
The first question is, do you know what ageism is?
No, I do not.
Ageism is prejudice against people's age, someone's age. Do you believe that people are discriminated against their age?
It depends on situations. Like I know when it comes to like siblings and stuff like that, they might discriminate against their younger siblings or older siblings because they're like, oh, you're old, or oh, you're too young, you can't do this, you can't do that. But like discriminating someone to like a higher level, I don't think so.
Do you think elderly people are discriminated against?
For their age,
Yes.
sometimes probably with like a lot of people, because it's Florida, when a lot of people are driving, they probably discriminate against old people because their age for driving and stuff like that. And then like when they're taking care of them in nursing homes, I feel like they could like, oh, they're too old, they should go to the like nursing home and stuff like that. So partly yes, yeah, they can be.
All right, thank you very much.
My name is Juliet, and we're going to talk about ageism. Now, do you know what that is?
I can only assume age from young to old.
Yes. Yes, it's involving stereotyping and discrimination against others based on their ages. So now my question to you is, why do you think it's harmful to discriminate against others that based on their ages? Why do you think
based on their ages?
Yes.
First of all, I don't believe in discriminating against anybody or anything. So,
My name is Juliet Holligan, and I just wanted to talk to you about the topic on ageism. Now, do you know what that is?
No.
Discrimination against individuals or groups based on their age. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I want your opinion on, why do you think it's harmful to discriminate on others based on their age?
Well, sometimes it's their physical ability.
Yes. Okay. Is that all you have to say?
Yeah.
As you can see, we interviewed 4 people, 2 of which were older and the other 2 younger. Most of their replies were that they didn't believe in any type of discrimination. But ageism is so common that they probably don't even notice that it is all around them.
Well, that's all we have for today in RC News. Come back tomorrow for more. Yeah, you got the back first. Welcome back.
Let's pause.
Alright.
It's gonna be that weird silence there now. We're just messing this all up.
It's gonna come out good, don't worry. Palmer.
Palmer. Okay.